Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Path of Rage and our Star Citizen coverage for the week. We are talking about one thing and one thing only today. The 4.2.1 patch has now gone live and, whoa boy, yeah, it's rough. Let's get into it. Alright, so 4.1 has gone live. It has introduced the new resource drive event and of course made a bunch of change and bug fixes and updates. I'm going to go over the good stuff first because there is some in this patch. I have talked about it in the past few episodes. Unfortunately, the event itself is an absolute disaster in the making, and that is still the case as of this recording. We'll get into that in the latter half of the video, but first off, we're going to go into some patch notes here about what is working. Now, as I said, they added the resource drive event, and there's a new mission type that I did get to try out, and I think I showed off in a previous episode, the ship escort mission. When it was working, that was a great new mission. It was fun. Unfortunately, it is not working right now with the current bugs going on in the 4.21 patch. However, PvP interdiction is working. I've heard people talking about it in chat who have gotten interdicted or interdicted people. And with the way the resource mission is going, there are certainly clearly defined lines that people are traveling right now that people are with interdiction ships are taking advantage of. It's not widespread, it's not like it used to be, but it is still there, and that is a good thing. The changes to the Wicklow recipes are now updated as they were in the PTU, so there are no longer any random rewards. You will know looking at the missions. They have the vehicle listings and the other listings for like suits of armor and weapons. You'll know what you're going for and what you need to get it. This is an absolutely great change. It was one that was very, very needed and makes Wicklow much more enjoyable. However, it is also being touched by these current bug problems, which again we'll get into. One very nice update that they put in, and I talked about this in the PTU videos I did, is the station defenses have been updated and turned back on and work a lot better now, and I have been finding a difference. There is much less griefing going on around the stations than there ever was for the past, a year. So that is a nice update. It's not overpowered either. There's still some work to be done on it. I don't think that bigger ships are showing up yet in abundance to take on, like say a Polaris that's camping outside of a green zone, but it is working much better than it was. So, you know, there's another good thing right there. They've done some flight tuning changes, and those of you who are much more into the actual testing of flight mechanics in this game, please sound off in the comments below how much that makes a difference to you. I'm not really noticing a huge difference yet, but again, I only have a Cutlass Black and I haven't been trying out a lot of other ships. I've been trying to do this bloody event. They changed the executive ship loadouts to previous tiers. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I don't have any executive ships. They did do a salvage rebalance. Now, this I haven't tried, as I don't have a salvage ship in-game right now. I know I can rent one, I believe. I just haven't gotten around to it. I did see people talking in various chats. They like this salvage balance. Aside from some of the people with larger ships, they don't like the fact that the smaller ships are a little bit more effective by the sounds of it. But in any case, salvaging has been balanced out a little bit better now, and the results that I'm hearing so far, very limited mind you, but the results I'm hearing so far is that it's a positive one. So hey, there we go. And the Reclaimer got its PDCs, which are nice, but unfortunately they are somewhat overpowered. They will attack ships that come in close enough proximity, not just missiles that are approaching them, which is what they're supposed to do. And it kind of turns the Reclaimer into a combat ship, which it's not meant to be. They've added the new Volt pistol to the game, and this, along with a couple of other weapons from the Volt line, are all available as rewards for the non-functioning current event. And finally, on the good news front, there is performance and stability improvements, network stall optimizations, and you can see here, since 4.2.1 originally released, they've now fixed nearly 160 bugs, 46 of which came from the issue council. Again, this is all good. One of the examples I can give you of this is now inventory is working very, very well. At least that's been my experience. No more having the item jump back to the inventory or your backpack when you're trying to move them. No troubles trying to equip them or unequip them or anything like that. It's very, very snappy feeling, for lack of a better word. Overall, like, there are a lot of improvements to this patch that are unfortunately very overshadowed by what we're about to get into. So what are we about to get into? Well, let's let CIG from an Inside Star Citizen tell you exactly what this event is. Here, let's hear it.
So the July patch will be a one-time thing. It will run for that first patch, and when the next patch comes out, it kind of ends. The event is centered around gathering 3 main resources. So you can work for Microtech, Hurston, Crusader, and ArtCorp. And each track you work for will have 5 tiers of rewards that you will unlock based on your contribution.
We have a few major game loops that you can choose from. We can start with hauling, which involves a player going out to a trade post, picking up the commodities that are of the corporation's interest and delivering them back to the corporation's LEO.
Then we have the recover cargo ship archetype. This was kind of first introduced in Welcome to Pyro, and then when we was doing the 4.0 refactor, it was one we didn't get to, but we've brought it back, we fixed it up for this. So how this one works is you go to a ship, it's already dead in the water, it has the supplies on it that you require, and your main goal is to get the supplies and take them back to where they need to be delivered. There might be a few pirates trying to pick that corpse clean, so you might have to dispatch some of them and then take the cargo.
Enemy down.
One important thing to note though is that if you don't have a ship big enough to take the cargo but you want to do this mission, we've left the seat on for you, so you can actually get in the seat and take the other ship, have a go at flying this, and take that back instead.
There's also Recover Cargo FPS, which involves locations like UGFs or abandoned FOBs. And there'll be several stashes of commodities needed that have been taken from important cargo ships and held there by outlaws. You need to go in, clear the outlaws, take the cargo and deliver it back to the corporations. As this event is primarily a ship and hauling event, this is the only FPS mission that there is available.
Then there's support attack ship. This is one you've seen before. There's a ship, it's under stress, it's being attacked, it's being pirated.
Mayday, mayday, outlaws are attacking my ship!
It's carrying the valuable resources that are needed for that corporation. You have to turn up and make sure it gets away safely. And if it does, you are counted for its contribution. So because you helped it, they also sort of count those boxes for you. There's the Unlimited Resource Gathering mission. This mission will be asking you to get the 3 commodities in an infinite amount. It will never have a cap. The mission has no completion, per se, but everything you deliver, based on the SCU amount that you deliver, is the amount you're going to get paid for it. This you can keep open, you can abandon it when you don't want it, and you can re-accept it at any point. But the goal of it is to go and source your own materials, bring them back to the location, and submit them for your reward. Why are you doing this? It's fun, yeah. The rewards. We have 5 tiers of rewards, and then ending rewards for after the event. There will be post-event rewards. All of the rewards that I go over will be themed after the corporation that you choose to align with. Tier 1 is jumpsuit and multi-tool. Tier 2 will be an armor set and a vault weapon. After that, we start going into your favorite ship skins. Tier 3 will be 3 ship skins and a vault weapon. Tier 4 will be 3 ship skins and a vault weapon. And tier 5 will be 3 ship skins and a vault weapon.
Why so many vault weapons?
We just don't know what to do with them. They're just piling up. For now, I'm just going to spread them about.
Lightning is cool.
Huh?
Lightning is cool.
Lightning is very cool. So, fast forward to the end. The Stanton Pyro jump point is going to be renamed to do with the winning corporation. We don't know the exact name yet, but it's going to be named to be sort of a hint to them. The landing zone, the low orbit station, and the jump point, which now will belong to the corporation that won. All 3 of those will get a permanent 5% shop discount across all of their goods. So it will likely maybe be cheaper to buy stuff in those areas.
Yes, it is really everything in the landing zone. Nothing is exempt.
And last of all, the winning corporation and those of you that hit tier 5 will get a elite armor. It will be a matte black version of the armor you got for tier 2 with a sort of highlight to emphasize the corporation that you was with. We've made all 4 of these. I'm giving 1 out. The other 3 won't see the light of day. How do we track this? You're gonna love to hear it. We've got a journal entry for you, but we've changed it before everyone starts going to the comments.
You can see the overall global corporation's progress across all servers, and you will also have a separate bar to see how much you've progressed or how much contribution you've made to the corporation.
And that is the new event, the new resource event. Oh, you know, I love the idea of this event. For the first time in a long time, this is an industrial-driven event. Most of it takes place in green zones and armistice zones. There's no PvP whatsoever unless you come across a random dude during one of the 2 or 3 combat missions that you can get here. There's the one where you can go and defend a ship. There's the one where you can go and rescue the salvage from a ship, or even salvage the ship itself. And by the way, the video in the background that you see here is from my Friday night episode as well. I thought it would be good to put it up again because this is me doing one of these resource drive missions. This is the one where you go for the ship that's been damaged but full of cargo, and I try to steal it and screw it up at the end. But it did work once. Unfortunately, none of these missions work now. None of the combat ones. And it's not because they don't work. I should rephrase that. It's because you can't take them. The problem is, right now with this resource event, you've got the salvage, you've got the mining you can do as well, but mainly the salvage and the hauling, both of which use freight elevators. Actually, so do the other missions. The combat mission down to the underground facility, you have to bring SCU boxes out and return them. With getting the ship, you have to either take that damaged ship and bring it back very, very damaged and hard to fly, or if you've got a big enough ship, you bring it onto your own ship and bring it back. If you have the hauling missions, you go to a location, use the freight elevator, and bring it back to, like, by Genie Point if you're using ArcCorp, for example. The problem is the elevators are broken. So all the hauling missions don't work. I've gotten a couple to work, sort of, but haven't been able to either complete the mission because the elevator glitched out in one way or another, or I've been trying to get the cargo that on the elevator that actually worked for me, and other people have been stealing it. Every single one of these outposts on planets that you go to are surrounded by ships because for some reason CIG had timers in that prevented you from accepting missions within a certain time of finishing them. So no matter what you did, you couldn't get more missions. Everyone was waiting for the combat missions because they actually worked while the elevator missions don't. And I mean they don't at all. Every single time you get sent to a single outpost, and there's only a few of them in each planetary system that these things are sending it to you. Now, CIG has said that these were bugs. absolutely bugs. We were not meant to stay in just certain areas. It's supposed to be far spread out. It's the same thing with the escort ships and the defend the ships or whatnot. All of those, for some reason, had to take place near a asteroid base. It couldn't just take place out in the asteroid belt somewhere, or just in general space somewhere. No, they have to be by asteroid bases, which kept funneling people into the same places. And while that mission was being done by one person or a group, whatever, you could not take it for anyone else. And this continued on. Now, they have done hotfix after hotfix this weekend. As a matter of fact, I can post it up right here for you like I've been doing with the patch notes. The message of the day on Monday is that they're going to start rolling out a hotfix tonight and over the next couple of days. I'm not getting super excited about this right now because they've been rolling out hotfix after hotfix so far, and it's not working. Now, this is something that is starting to drive me nuts about Star Citizen. I love this concept of a game. I want to see them succeed. I really do, and I love the bones of what's here. I really, really do. But I get that they're working on Squadron 42, mainly. I get that excess work is being given to the PTU for people who are not currently doing a task on Squadron. So we're getting bits and pieces. I get all of that. But this event should never have launched the way it did with these incredibly limited play spaces. If you wanted to do any one of the 4 planets, if you want to fill them all up anyway, you had to do the very first mission was to go to an outpost, pick up 4 or 5 boxes and bring it to a space station. Well, there are several people, lots of people actually, not several. There are more people haven't than have who've been not able to finish this mission simply because the elevator doesn't work. And if you can't finish that mission, you don't get any of the others. And even if you do finish that mission and you get the other missions, well, half of them are missing because other players already have them and they've limited the play spaces. It makes no sense. One of the big selling points about Star Citizen is the fact that this universe, hell, this system alone that we're in, is absolutely massive. There's no reason for a limited points or even limits on how many of the combat missions in space you can do. They can be done anywhere. But for some reason, once again, CIG limits everything to a couple of spots. Now, you might say it's because of data. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. Event after event after event, releases broken every time. We were telling them this in the chat in PTU, in the Evocati chat. This event was not ready for live. Now, I know they're trying to keep to this quarterly schedule where they release a patch with a whole bunch of fixes. Honest to God, I wish they wouldn't do this anymore. Do it for some fixes, that's fine, but the events need to be finished. If it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit longer. But make sure the events work. Because when somebody comes in and wants to try the game, and the biggest drawing point that you have in there right now is broken, well, good luck getting that person to come back. Good luck getting people to stick around when they keep seeing this happen over and over again. I don't know. I think something needs to change at CIG with how they release their patches. It's just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm going to keep playing it. I like the concept of it. Hopefully they do fix it. I like the looks of all the rewards. I like all of the skins. I prefer the ArcCorp and the Crusader ones. One of the weird things that they did with this, if you guys don't know, and they do get it fixed, you jump in, they mentioned that whoever wins, whichever corporation wins, has the most people go to tier 5 right at the end and wins, they alone will get that cool black armor set. And the Pyro Stanton jump point station will be renamed and whatnot, but they set big thing where all items in the winning corporation's landing zone, for the people who tier 5'd it only, they will have a discount. Now, the guy said specifically it's every item in the landing zone. So if Hurston wins, Lorville by far has the best ship store, which means the ships at Lorville for people who get tier 5 will have discounts on them. It'll make that ship the absolute, or that, not that ship, that ship shop, the absolute must go to. Like, I think that's the reason why at the moment Crusader is absolutely leading the way in who's got what for this event. For everyone who is managing to pull it off, and there are people who are, I'm not going to say there aren't. For everyone who's managing to pull it off, most of them are going Crusader first. So I think we're going to see a Crusader jump point. I think we're going to see the Crusader black armor for everybody, the black matte armor, for anyone who finished it off at tier 5. And we're going to see the Lorville Astro Armada have, I think it's Astro Armada, but any case, New Deal. We'll see Lorville New Deal have discounted ships for people who finish it. I don't think they should have said that. They're going to have to make some changes, I think, to the ship shops, unless that was just a slip of the tongue and the dev was not thinking about the ships, but was thinking more about items like armor and stuff like that. We will have to see. In any case, folks, that is our somewhat briefer news update on this, because everything has been focused this past week on this new patch. Again, there's a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of improvements, quality of life and bug fixes, but my God, did they drop the ball with this event once again. CIG, I really hope you guys get your shit together when it comes to releasing events. In any case, folks, I hope you found this at least somewhat helpful, somewhat useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, I've been Ragex Games, and I'm going to go back to trying to move some boxes off of broken elevators. I'll see you in the verse. Bye-bye.